It's my loc-aversary. It's my loc-aversary today, and I am gonna just retwist my locks and talk a little bit about my loc journey. Hopefully this isn't gonna be too long of a video. It takes me about 45 minutes to twist my hair, but I don't plan on recording the whole time. Well, let's get straight to it. So I started my locks in 2009 and have been logging my journey ever since on this little channel, and have not been very consistent because life gets in the way. When I started my locks, I was an undergraduate student, and I decided that I would at least keep my locks until my educational journey was done. And my ultimate goal is to get my doctorate. And so I got my bachelor's, went back, got my master's, didn't really blog very much then. After I got my master's, I worked full time, started picking up on videos, recording then I got pregnant. Stopped recording. It's been a year and a half since then, and now I'm back in school again, hopefully for the last time, and I'm enrolled as a doctoral student at a university in Tennessee, and I'm really excited about it. I've got 5 more years, and it's my loc-aversary. It's been 12 years since I started my loc journey, 12 years since I started my undergraduate career, and I turn 30 next week and will be done with my doctorate, God willing, when I'm 34. So if you're at least sticking through with Nicolette's educational journey, which runs parallel to her loc journey, we're still in the thick of it. As usual, I am retwisting just with oil and water. Just washed my hair, freshly washed locks. I'm using avocado oil and a mixture of all the other oils that were in my cabinet when I was moving from Maine to Tennessee. And so I think this is avocado, this is sweet almond oil, this is jojoba oil, all in one. Don't ask me what the proportions are, it just works. And so it keeps my roots pliable and adds nutrients to my scalp, especially because I've been using the cheapest shampoo. I'm using Suave right now. It's $1. It dries my locks all the way out, and so the oil kind of helps me to retain whatever moisture is left, add a little bit more. The oils that I use replicate the oils that we secrete naturally from our scalps, and so yeah, using that. I'm kind of trying to focus on my ends, which are thinning and sad. And I'll talk about that when I get to the part of the video when I talk about what it's like to be 12 years in. But like, this is getting cut right here. I'm getting a trim because these loose ends are weak ends, and we don't need unhealthy hair to be hanging on. When I say we, I'm talking about me. These are eye statements, of course. So using the mixture of oils, the water from freshly washing my hair, and I'm gonna twist each of these locks. And then when I get 3 of them, I will braid them together. I have a whole video on that. I'll link it above and below, so you can see in more detail what I'm talking about. But I generally retwist with low to no products, and I don't do this to hold my locks in place. I'm not interested in having perfect locks, so if that's what you're looking for, I'm not the mentor for that. I'm definitely a low maintenance person. I like to wake and shake. I just want my locks to be clean and healthy. Those are my 2 priorities. I'm at year 12, and I feel like I've reached my terminal length. If you're not familiar with that theory, I'll do my best to explain. But from what I understand, like your hair texture plus whatever regimen you use to maintain your hair, plus, you know, whatever wear and tear you add to your hair will determine how long your hair can get. And since I'm low maintenance, and I oftentimes let my locks get really dry, I think I'm at my terminal length. It feels like I've been at around waist length, flirting around waist length for the last 2 years. So since like year 10, I've been around the same length. And I noticed that my locks have been breaking at the same point for that period of time. And so unless I change my hair texture, which I can't, or change the way that I maintain my locks and change the environment that I put my locks in, I will perhaps stay at this length. And so here are some of the things that I think are contributing to the fact that I feel that I'm at my terminal length. I sleep with my hair all wild, which dries my locks out. Like I don't, here's a double-headed dragon. I don't wrap my hair up at night. That means that I get lint, and I also dry my hair up. I also put my hair in ponytails a lot, and the hairband that I use, I know it adds tension to my locks at the points where I notice that they're weak. It's always somewhere around here. I like wrap my hair in a bun and then tuck it. And I think the place where I tuck it is the point of tension where those locks start to thin out and break. And so I think a goal for myself for this next year of my lock journey is to just make a few small changes to see whether or not I can reduce that thinning and shedding that I've been experiencing in the last 2 years. I also know that my diet plays into that. I also know that stress levels play into that. But diet and stress levels will get put into what's coming out of my root, and I'm concerned about what's coming out of my ends. Like my roots, I feel are healthy, they're soft, they're pliable, they still curl, but my ends, sis, I think, you know, they need some love. And so I think this year I'll put a little bit more care and time toward my ends to see if that changes anything in the way that my locks are acting up. So that means tying my hair up at night, reducing the amount of high ponies and tight buns that I do, which is hard because when I'm at work and I'm getting in the zone, I just want my hair up and out of my face. So I'm gonna have to try to think through what it might mean to have some low tension hairstyles that also do the same thing that the bun does for me. And then continue to, of course, drink water, take my vitamins because I do want my roots to continue to thrive, but I also need my ends to feel a little bit more love. I think I let them get dried out, and they're the ends are the oldest part of your locks, and so it makes sense that they're more delicate, and I don't treat them with more love and respect than I treat the rest of my locks. And so I think I'll give a little bit more love to my locks, and especially to my ends every once in a while. So spritzing more, adding some oil every once in a while, just to restore some of that moisture balance that gets stripped through, you know, day to day, just being out, being in the sun, all of that good stuff. Even though my ends are thinning, and I do notice weak spots in some of my locks, I don't think you can really see them, but I know where they are. I do think that I'm doing pretty well. Like Wake and Shake still makes healthy-ish locks. They could always be healthier. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but I'm past my desired length. You know, when I imagined locks, when I was dyeing them, I always wanted locks to like hit me mid-chest. And I'm there, I'm past there. Like I can't even sit up enough for you all to see the ends of my locks. And so I'm happy. Like I'm pretty happy with my length retention. I'm interested in trying things that make my locks healthy and will help me to sustain them for the long haul, especially if I hope to hold on to them for 5 more years while I do this doctorate. So I just mentioned that, you know, I started my locks when I was an undergrad, and I made a pact with myself that I would keep them as long as I was still on the educational journey, and that my ultimate goal would be getting this doctorate, you know, being Dr. Locks. No trademark infringement intended. But I have been thinking about what it would be like to cut my locks and what it would be like to not have hair. I've always had hair as long as I can remember. I was a loose natural before I locked my hair for years. And so I never did a big chub. I never had a teeny weeny afro as an adult. And so I oftentimes wonder what it would be like to go from being someone who has lots of hair and long hair to not having my mane. And like, I felt like getting to know my locks, getting to know and learn how to do my own hair in a way that makes me happy has been really empowering and motivational. But I also think it would be a different empowerment and motivation to understand what it would be like to just be bare, like no hair, just my face out in the world, and for people to just look at me and for me to also look at myself. I think it would teach me a lot as a woman. And so sometimes I think about, you know, if I decide to end this loc journey, what would it be like to just be bald-headed for a little bit? And so I consider it's a wondering. It's never a wondering that like compels me to do anything, but I think it'd be interesting. I think if I did that, I would keep my locks. So I would cut them, keep them, but then rock the bald look and get it shaped up on a semi-regular basis. I think that would be cool. I think that would be really cool. So I think I've rambled enough for now. I still have about like a third of my locks left, but I will pause the video here, finish up twisting, and then just check out with you all. Give me a second. All done. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching my video. Drop a comment below and tell me how you found me and what you're looking for when you're watching loc videos. If you started your loc journey, what's next? How long have you been locking your hair and what are your goals for your hair? I shared that my goal for this 13th year is to take a little bit of care of my ends to see if I can get a little bit more length retention. What are your goals? If you haven't done it already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you next time on the tubes of you. Oh my gosh, you guys. I literally just sat here for like 15 minutes talking to the camera that was not on. That's what happens when you don't YouTube for a really long time and then you come back and you try to start doing it. So I'm gonna learn from that experience, and I'm turning the camera around the selfie mode so I can watch and see if y'all are here